Today we are going to be working on a point of sale system, and I am going to be doing everything on the front end. For my guys that are using Vue 3 and Composition API, we are going to be working on this with Tailwind. I'll provide you with a template and where I've picked it from, because I've picked it from Tailwind components. So as you see, it's just bare like that. As you can see, I'm going to be adding more a few of styles, and I'll be as well adding I'll be adding a few things, yeah, so you'll be seeing it clearly. So this is how it actually looks like. We are going to start by going to our code. I'm going to first confirm whether it looks actually fine. Yep, and as you can see, this is our code. We want to see these are the details of the products we are working on: grilled corn, ranch burger, pizza bacon, grilled corn, grilled corn, grilled corn. Oh, it is repeated many times. I think it is very different. Or is it? Okay, we shall be changing the names, as you can see, because I'm seeing here many names as well. Burger or something. We can create a list of products that are sold in the restaurant, right? And yeah, so let's see how the list looks like. I am going to use ChatGPT to format my data into an array of objects that I'm going to be displaying here, so that from those array of objects, I'm going to be clicking on them and they'll be displaying here. So yeah. Right now we are going to go to our code. We shall see it's first it's grilled corn. So grilled corn is here, and as you can see, this is our first product. When you select this, these are all products, right? Yeah, these are all products. So I'm going to tell ChatGPT to make these details as key values. I think key values actually works pretty fine. So I'm going to go and open ChatGPT, and tell it to generate for me a list of items that are sold in a restaurant, and these items have to be formatted into an array of objects with values as I'm going to paste from our code, right? And I'm going to get that list of an array of objects. It's the one I'm going to display there. Yep. So right now I am asking ChatGPT use this data to generate a list of objects in an array. Generate me 10 products sold in the restaurant. Restaurant, yeah. Restaurants use that data provided to pick key values, right? Are they called key values? Yeah. So it is actually going to generate me, as you can see. So this is what I really wanted, right? It is failing to generate me a list of 10 products because that's what I want. Generate me 10 of them. 10 of them. Right? Okay, so it's saying I'm going to generate you 10 of them. It is actually doing that for me. Yeah, this is tech now. So this is what I'm going to actually use in my project, and I'll just go ahead and copy this, right? I'll copy this up to up, scroll up again, and scroll here. All right, so that's it. And we shall go ahead and delete all the products that are here, because we have our products now, right? So as you can see, it's a bit messed. I have to clean it pretty well. It will take a lot of time, but I guess that's why we need this tutorial, right? So we shall clean this, right? And what else are we cleaning now? We are cleaning this as well. What are we cleaning again? We are cleaning this as well. I hope I'm actually messing with the right product. So we shall clean this as well. Let me see how it actually looks like. End products. Do we need this as well? Yeah, I think this is it, right? End products, because the products start from here and they end from here, right? So that's it. And let me first save this as well. I'm going to change my commands, because that's why you see I am being asked a password every time. Yeah. So I'm going to go to my command and change the permissions so that it can be read by everyone. Change mode 777. Change mode -R 777. It's supposed to be capital. Okay, let me first go back again. Change mode -R 777. That's the name of the folder, which is POS. So it is actually saying they cannot change the permissions. That's why we have to use sudo, because I'm the root user at the end of the day. So yeah, POS is going to ask me for a password. So I'll put in my password. And what is it saying? Usage. I don't really know what that is. Oh, I forgot to include that 777. So a sudo change mode trip -R 777 -R, of course. Oh, hold on a second. Sudo change mode -R. I think that was a typo. A 777 POS. Yeah, and I'll put in the password. Yeah. So am I able to change? Yeah, I'm actually able to change. That's why you see it has closed now. Let's see if we can just run npm run dev right now. Yeah. So that means we are able now to actually to now npm outside that. So we shall write script here, and we shall say we are dealing with an export default, something simple like this. Then we shall go like this. Then I shall go and say const products. Once we got, remember we copied something, so I would say const products is equal to a ref, an array of objects. So I'm going to post in everything here. So after that, I'm going to import app, right? Import ref from view, right? So after doing that, I'll go ahead and say return. Going to return products, as you can see down here. So I'll go ahead and call. Looks like we have a bug here. It is not. No, it's not a bug. It is just running from a different server. So I'll just say it is now 4 instead of the 3 it was using. Right. We have another bug, but I think I'll get to that. So we have products, and I'm supposed to oh, this is R small. Yeah, that was the issue. Let's see. Yeah, that was the issue. Then I'll go ahead and call a list that I had created in ChatGPT. You can see this is the code, right? So I'll go ahead and slope down here. Yeah, so I'll delete this. So it is an array of objects. Yeah,
guys.
So we are going to be doing one
by one.
As you can see, here, I'm actually set like with everything. So okay, to display all the products in the section for this mini POS, I'm going to copy this and paste it here. Right. So after doing this, we'll go ahead and write a for loop that actually displays the items. Where are we picking the items from? Products. It is an array. I actually showed you guys. So it is an ID. That is the key value. And I'll go ahead and display each and everything here. So we shall display the name here. And I will display the weight. And I'll display the image as well, right? I'll display the image as well. So if you're displaying an image, you bind source. And after doing that, you'll say item.image source. Image source, like that. So from here we're actually able to see everything. Let's see if that actually works. Shall refresh. Yeah, we actually have this. But we don't have the price. We only have the weight. So I'll go ahead and add the price on it. Item.price. Right. So item.price. Like that. So if you refresh here, it is actually showing the price of each and every product. Right. Yeah. So our target right now is actually making this clickable, so that we see which product is being clicked on. I'm going to make these tutorials very short, so that the attention span is really encouraging, right? Yeah. So how did I go to this and make this clickable? I'll go down here on the product itself, because it is within the loop, and I'll add a method that is called click. And it actually takes let's say click add to list, and I'll take an item for this. Where does item comes from here. So I'll create that method as well down here, because it is not existing. So const add to list is equal to that and it actually takes something like an item as the parameter. So shall put here an item. So after putting an item here, we shall say console log, or you can even say an alert, but I like console log item. Right. So after doing that, we shall as well return this method here, so that it is being seen. Add to list. Right. So after doing this, shall go back and test if it actually works pretty fine. And it does actually work fine. So now what we are going to do, we are going to display let's say let me add a cut, so that I want to track everything is actually working fine. So I'll say const cut which starts as an empty array, which is a ref. Sorry about this. An empty array, something like that. So I'll go ahead and export this as well. Put it in the return. Right. So actually show that this is actually working. I am going to push whatever we add to the list up there. And how do we add it? We say cat.value push, and we put in an item inside, right? So after putting an item inside, you terminate. Then you go up here. Because I'm trying to show that list, right? So I'll just put in the cat here and see if it actually changes. If you click, right? Yeah. So after testing this, our next tutorial is going to be about displaying this list on our right hand side and doing the other magics as well. So we shall go back here and test. After click, right? Is that there? If we add any product, it is actually working. As you can see, this is the list. Yeah, that is the tutorial there. So wait out for the next tutorial where we add all this list on your right hand side, because this is dummy content, as you can see. And I'm going to teach you how to add and increase the quantity and decrease the quantity. Yeah. Thank you. Second, I don't think it is a second or third or fourth, but welcome to this tutorial. I've added just one field here, and it is the quantity. As you can see, by default they can be 0, right? So now what we are going to actually do, our last tutorial was about displaying whatever is in the cat list, right? So this is a cat list here. As you can see, it is even called order list. Order list, we shall cut all these ones out. So after cutting all these ones out, we shall as well I'll go ahead and call a cut list here. I'll put in a template as well here. You can decide to use a div if you want, but I really love templates. So you paste this down here, then you say v4 loop item in cut list, right? And what is the key value? The key value is item.id, something like that. So after doing that, we shall display all the names and the details about each and every product that is added to the cut list. So this will be the name. Let's say this is going to be okay. We shall link this. This actually keeps including, and this is going to be the total as well. Anything to do with that. So I'll go ahead here, and I'll be adding methods here for this. Let's say at click, it will subtract, right? What are we subtracting from? We're subtracting from an item, and at click, this is going to be adding more quantity to an item, right? So whenever someone clicks here, it is a +1, +1, +1. That is what is going to happen. And whenever that value changes, it is going to be this value here. It is going to be the count. So what I'm going to do now, I am going to add a count that is 0. First count, which is equal to can be a ref, of course, 0. And we shall export it down here, and we'll go ahead and say const add, and we say, what are we adding? We are adding onto an item, and we're just increasing the quantity of that item. If it was 0, now that actually means that item quantity shall be increased to something else, right? It is the same thing for subtract too. So sub is item that, and we shall export all these methods. Count, add, and subtract, right? So add commas. After doing this, this actually tells you one thing actually. Let's just test one thing I want to test. If you add onto an item, the count will actually increase, right? So we shall say count value plus. Right now we are not increasing the value. We are just increasing a count, right? And actually, if you're subtracting, we shall say minus, right? So doing something like this. And we shall say if, okay, I'll do that later. I was actually wanting to put something to do with if the item has quantity 0, we can't go beyond that, right? So I'm not doing that now. I might do it in the next tutorial. I'm going to first show a cut list, and here it is. I did not display the image of the product, so I'll say item.image source. Yeah, something like that. So here, this is actually okay, everything is fine. So this is going to be our count as well. This is going to be our count right now, right? So we shall go back here on our browser and test that and see if it actually works pretty fine, right? So now, as you can see, these are all lists that I'm supposed to. Shall try to add to the list, but as you can see, it is not displaying. Let's find out why. So I'll go to my code. I have cut. So when I'm pushing, I actually push to cut. So let's see here, item in cut list. Okay, this is the error. I'm actually pushing to cut, not cut list. Yeah, and as you can see, they are added, right? So we can do another thing that actually says and if you test the counts, they're supposed to work as well. When you click plus, they're supposed to increase. Let's see why they are not working. Okay, I'll add here sub, add click sub, it takes an item, and I'll add here the add with the item as well, so that when someone subtracts, it's just subtracting from the count. And this is a count as well, right? So do we have count? Yeah. So for now, the count is actually working with the count is actually increasing and decreasing for all the products, because I'm not specifying each product right now. I'm actually just testing the count increase, right? So as you can see, it is now default by 0, and basically don't know why it's not clicking, but I will add some classes as well, and I'll say this is a subtraction. So what happens when you subtract? When we subtract, it's supposed to decrease, and when you add, it is supposed to increase, right? As you can see, this is a plus plus, and this is a minus minus, right? So go ahead and check again. So active, let me first add something that actually shows that when clicked, it actually scales. Something I did earlier, duration 150, transition as well, that's to transition, right? So select this, and we do this as well, right? So this is a count. We are testing the button, And when you test the button, when you test the button, click here, and as you can see, it is actually working when you click this button. So only what I want is subtraction and increment, which is not actually working up to now. So we don't really know why, and we need to find out that as well. The buttons are actually clicking now. When you subtract, we did pass the item, and when we add, we did increase the count. Oh, I know why it is not actually working. A count is a ref value, so if you don't say dot value, it is not actually going to increase. Yeah, so we shall say dot value plus plus and dot value minus minus, right? So after doing this, when it refreshes, this has to disappear, right? And when you get to add this and say maybe I increase this is my count increment plus a subtract increment. Yeah, this is actually working pretty fine. So you can add many products as you want. This was an issue. This was a target for this tutorial, to add all the products to this line, so we can proceed to the next tutorial. Now the next tutorial is going to be working on subtraction and increment of the quantity of a single product, right? Not all the products, because this count is actually working for all. You get, yeah. Watch out for the next one. Subscribe. I love you guys. We are going to resume with our tutorial. Remember, we're just changing the count right now. Let's go ahead and change now the quantity. So if we are changing the quantity, that actually means that whatever we are displaying here as the count is supposed to be the quantity now, right? Because now we are dealing with the real shit. Oh, sorry about that. Because we are doing the real thing now, right? So item dot quantity, yeah. So by default, they are all 0. So when I click, when I subtract here, it's supposed to subtract the item. And when I add, it is supposed to add the quantity, right? It's the same thing here. We change the total as well. So the total will be, it will be item dot quantity multiplied with the price, right? Dot price. Yeah, so that will be the total all the time, right? So by default, if you add this thing to cart, the quantity will actually change. I think I need to change this to quantity 1 by default, yeah, because when someone actually adds to cart, they have already selected one quantity. It is not actually 0. So I'll go ahead and change this to 1 of them, right? Technically, it's supposed to be 1 by default. It's supposed to be 1 by default. Yeah. So after doing this, I've updated the array of objects. So now what we are going to do is add in those actions as well. So adding the object, we're supposed to find the index of the array of objects. What are we looking through? We are looking through the cat. So we say cat dot value dot cat dot value dot find index, which is an array, right? And I'm saying object.
Yeah.
Something like this. Find an index to this thing. I'll say let index be equal to this. So I'll only return the index if I return the index if I'll return the index. Return the index if the object dot id is actually equal to item. Yeah, something like this. Why did it say object object.id object.id being equal to item.id. What am I doing wrong? So it's here we are mapping through. No, we're actually finding an index. We are finding an object. Okay, let me explain this very well. So we are you're going through this cat, which is an array of objects, and finding the index of object where the item.id is equal to the object.id. I don't know why it is actually complaining. So we are returning object. If this is actually okay, let's find out if this actually works, because I remember very well it is actually supposed to get a place. You only return the index if these are actually matching, right? This is supposed to return. Nothing. Okay. So after doing this, we shall go ahead and oh my son. Shall go ahead and find the index. So after finding the index, we shall say if we shall say if cat dot value value at index is not -1. It is not -1. It is not. If it is not -1, is not cat dot value. If it is not index -1, then let's update the value at that index, right? So we say cat dot value at index what are we changing? We're changing our quantity. So are we subtracting? Yeah, because we are in a subtraction method, so we shall say quantity 0 0. But I only want to change this if the quantity is actually if it is greater than 0, right? That's when I want to subtract. So I'll say cat dot value at a certain index if its quantity is greater than 0, right? Then I'll cat dot value its quantity is greater than 0, then I'll subtract. If it's not, then I will not do anything, right? Yeah, so that's the subtraction bit. Let's go now to adding. Copy this, paste here. So after doing this, shall find the index here at the same time. So if it is next, not this one. I think we don't really need this here. So we shall keep adding. Yeah. Terminate. So I'll go back and test this. Or refresh. Yep, so it is actually displaying. So what are we checking now? We'll add here, and as you can see, by default it comes as 1. I will do this. It's actually working pretty fine. So as you can see, it cannot exceed this. Actually, you're supposed to leave it at 1. So when you say this, it will increase. You can see. So same thing for this. By default, it is 1. Just don't know why I am having a none here. Supposed to look for that as well. So I will check here again and see why we're actually getting a none, because a none means it is a 0. It's supposed to be changing. Get. So it is item dot quantity times the price. Oh, what is the price? I don't think the price is a value for sure. I don't think it's just a value. Must be having a dollar sign, right? That's why you see it is not working. So let me just remove this dollar sign here. 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 Here as well. Here. Here as well. Here. Here as well. Shall save this. Go back and test it. You can decide to refresh again. Yeah, we shall add this. Where am I getting this now? So another bug we still have, we cannot add the same product 3 times, right? That's a real bug. So let me first refresh. I wanted to test something. Yeah. So after refreshing, you can see this is it. When you add this and you say plus, as you can see, it is actually working pretty fine. So when you add this again and say plus, it is actually working pretty fine. So I also want to make this work clear all. My next tutorial is going to be about making sure we do not add the same product twice or thrice. And I'm going to just add the clear all thing so that it actually works, and clear all cut. So I'll make a method that is called clear all. Right? It is clear all. Constant clear all, which is a method. What does it do? It actually reassigns cut.value to an empty array. That's all it does. That's all it does. So I'll export it, put it in a return, then go back up here, and yeah, I think that actually works pretty fast now. So say this is a click that says clear all, right? Because it's a method, right? It's clear all, isn't it? It's a clear all method. Yep. So I'll add something that actually makes it more clickable. Cursor pointer. Cursor pointer. Yeah, something like this. Total within this list. And as you can see, let's go to our code. Do this again. So first things first, I think I'm going to add total to an array of objects here, so that I can be able to track, anything that is added within. Yeah, because we don't really have total in there. So I'll just go and add total on every object, right? I'll say total is let's say 0 for now, right? And I'll copy and paste this everywhere. Total, let me just be uniform. Total 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 total. I'll now go back to our logic, and we say if let's say someone has added something to cart, yeah, they push it. Total by default it is supposed to be it is supposed to be the total by default is supposed to be the quantity times the price. That's when you actually get the total that they are being charged for. So I think I want to update that as well when I push something to the cart, right? I mean, that way maybe it would make more sense. So it doesn't really make sense for the total to be 0, but I think let's just get a better way of handling all this. So what we are going to do is say when someone actually adds to cart, right, and they increase the total, we are supposed to also change the total, right? Yeah, right. So it is an increment, we're supposed to say cart dot value at index dot total being equal to now the real cart dot value dot index dot price multiplied with a quantity, right? The quantity that has been incremented. I think this would give us the total, so probably. And as well, we can do for when actually someone pushes this to cart, we are supposed to calculate the total as well. So I'm actually looking for a way that is a bit better when someone adds to cart. Yeah, and I'm actually thinking it's the same thing that we do here. You can decide to create this as a method. I'll just create repetitions, it's fine. And it's the same thing I will do here in the add when someone adds, right? So when they clear, of course, all information is supposed to be back to normal. And let's say when we do clear now, it is when we do clear now, okay, let's just leave it as this. When we do clear, nothing really happens, so we shall first go and test this as well. But I'm actually thinking it is working pretty fine. But now my problem is when someone actually adds to cart, what really happens with the total, because it doesn't really include. So I'll go ahead and maybe do something like this. I'll refresh. So after refreshing, I'll add, and as you can see, it is actually saying this is times 1, which is this. So when I increment, yeah, it is supposed to change like that, like that, like that, like that. It is actually working fine here, right? When someone really adds to cart. Yes. So now what I'm trying to achieve now is the total right here down, right? So shall subtract this, and as you can see, it is pretty working fine. I want to track whether the total is still the same with this. Yeah, I want to really track if the total is still the same, right? And let's say if someone adds to cart once, will I be able to track the total? I think the total will be 0, right? Which is wrong. So I'm actually looking for a better way to actually achieve this. Const sum, which takes in
uh, which takes nothing actually. So we shall say what are we dealing with? First of all, we are looping through, we are getting through an array of objects. So it's cat.value dot cat.value dot reduce, right? So we pass object like that, then we say we are returning what are we returning? We are returning the total object dot total plus. We're actually returning the object dot total plus plus the sum, right? So we are passing here two parameters. Let me say this is sum. Sum is by default false, or let's say no zero. You can say we are returning this as total. So let's say by default this was a 0, and we are trying to get the total here, right? Yeah, issue here, and it is showing this. This is where we're supposed to get our sum. So now since our sum keeps changing, we shall go and say it's supposed to be a computed method, right? So you call that, say this supposed to be like this, then you shall clear this, terminate. How we are actually calculating whatever is in the loop, we shall say cat.value, since it is the list, dot reduce, and we shall pass in a total, which is a unique value, plus the object, and I'll come here and say this goes to here, that, then now we say we are returning the total plus the object dot total, right? Because that's the name we gave it. I added the total, right? So we add a 0 here, we terminate this, right? And then we add a 0 right here, right? So it is supposed to look something like this. Put another v, then this is supposed to be inside, right? This is the total, this is the object. What are we getting here? Okay, I'll add object to the total plus the total plus the total, right? Let's see what I'm doing wrong. This, oh, I don't have another curly brace. Let's see this. Yeah, this actually is fine now. I don't know why it is actually complaining about the object of total, because we actually passed it here. Yeah, so returning object dot total, object dot total. Did I use this name? Yeah, it is the one that is used. So we are returning this down, and we are this matches with this matches with actually this matches with this is okay. Cat reduce total object, right? And we are returning the object of total plus the total. So the total by default might be 0, so we are adding it to the total, whatever total we get from an object, right? So this is a returning object of total. Yeah, let's see, let me see why it is not really working. Total plus object object dot total, right? Okay, I think I had missed these curly braces, right? So I add a 0 here. This has to work fine. So I'll say then I return this, return, because I'm just looking for a total. So I'll go ahead and export this, right, and put a comma, then go and use it up here to see if the values actually work, right? So after doing that, I'll go ahead to my browser and test that. It is saying it has an issue. Let's refresh and see if the issues are cleared. Yep. So by default, as you can see, it says total 0. So when you add, that is the problem I told you about. When you add, it is supposed to put this total here with 1.75. It only works when I increment. That's when you will see that the total is actually incrementing 3 times this to get this, right? This, and this, plus this. So problem is here because we cannot see this incrementing as well. Yeah. It is not actually giving us the real details. Yeah. So now we are going to work on that as well. Shall go back to our code, and I don't really want to use the totals. This has been resolved. Yeah, this is actually supposed to give us the real total. Let's look at where the error is actually coming from. And as you can see, we are using the quantity. We are incrementing the quantity in the list. I really want to be tracking a new quantity, so let me add something to the list. Let me add a new quantity, right? I think that will give us n quantity, something like this, and this better, this better, this again. N means new, this as well, this as well. Yeah, so we are adding this as well, and we are adding this as well, right? So after doing this, we are going to go ahead and change a few things, right? So I'll do this, and then I will go down here, and as you can see, we are saying if we are to push this item here, and make sure after pushing the item to the list, since it doesn't have an index, we get to find its index, then get to multiply the total times the price. Sorry, the quantity times the price. There is another bug here because I've been multiplying price times price. So I'll get to multiply price times the new quantity, right? The n quantity. By default, it is 1. So that means by the time you push here into by the time you push to the list, I'll go ahead and find the item ID from the list. Then after pushing that item ID to the list, I'll get its total and update it there. Yeah, by default it's supposed to be updated. When someone clicks add to cart, it is supposed to multiply the price times the quantity. So when I've been adding to cart, I've not been getting the total by default. That's why you see I actually included this to get the total. So it's the same thing that will happen here if someone is making an increment, right? The quantity is supposed to increase as well, and we are supposed to multiply this by quantity. So how do I do this? I can decide to say n quantity plus plus, right? And I'll go ahead and say n quantity, nqty, something like that. So I think I've been having the same issue down here as well. It was a serious one. Sorry about this. This is in quantity, subtracting, then it's the same here, n quantity, new quantity. I've been multiplying price, that's why you see I've been getting the wrong values, right? So it's the same thing here. But I like in quantity because I don't like to be working with with the old quantity. So after doing this, I'm able to let's say track this value down here up. Let me go and update this as well. To n quantity, and this to n quantity as well, right? So after doing this, we shall go back to our browser and see where the problem has been. Let's try to refresh. The total is here. I dumped the values there. Die dump is more like a value in a laravel. So when you click this one, you see the values are actually matching. This is 1.75, this is 1.75, which wasn't by default the other thing. So when you add, it's supposed to be 3.5, and as you can see, it is actually 3.5 now, right? So that's the total from the whole cart list. And even if we add another product here, which is 5.99, if we add 3.5 to this, we are supposed to get this, right? I'm guessing, yeah, because this is 5.9 plus 3, which is 8, plus some things here, which is, I think, 4 strictly, right? After doing that, you can as well try to do this and see the totals are actually changing. So these are the totals that we are going to put here, since they are actually changing to match our value, right? So we shall go back here down and change this to our actual total that we get, which is some. Yeah, so after getting this you can actually go ahead and say pay by cashless, right? And by paying cashless, you're actually picking all the values from that list. I'll show you how you do that. But now we are able to actually do the POS at the front end. That's what our goal was, to actually be able to do add to cart, to clear one. And another thing I have not done is if someone wants to remove a product from a cart or from a cart list. I think that's the thing I'm going to do right now. I can add a remove icon here. After adding a remove icon, that means for each product I click remove, it is supposed to go away from that list, right? So I'll go ahead and get an icon for that. Icon X. Let's say icons. The icons I really use, and I'm actually forgetting them. What are their names? I use some icons that are really good. It's just CSV icons. We really do like them in okay, let me try to use the vector icons. Man, they are really wasteful. Let me just use font awesome icons. Yeah, and I'll search for close. Right? I think this can do, right? Yeah, this can do. I'm going to take this one. I don't know if it would actually work pretty. I don't know. Let me just add it and see if it actually works. I'll put